Hello everyone, welcome back to Back in Diapers, and today I am making this video kind of in response to quite the long comment I got. And I thought I would just make a video about it instead of writing out the whole comment because it's some stuff that has been brought up before and I want to explain it. So I'm kind of going to go through the questions this person asked and go ahead and answer those questions. So the first question that was asked in this comment was, why do I wear my nighttime diaper to work? Let me just make this clear. I do not do this on a regular basis. I did this for the pure purpose of testing this diaper out to see how long it would hold up and how long it could go without smelling bad. That was the purpose. I change my diaper every morning before work, except for like this one time, or if I'm totally dry, I'll wear the diaper to work for a little while. No, I don't wear my night diapers to work. I just wanted to test this thing out, and that's what I did. Also, I drink a lot of water every day. I don't have a colon, so I don't absorb as much fluids in my day-to-day fluid intake, so I have to compensate and drink a lot of water. And also, because I do have incontinence, I do have issues with my bladder retaining urine, I have to make sure I stay hydrated so that I am less likely to get urinary tract infections. So I seriously drink upwards of 1 gallon of water a day at least. Some days it's a little less, some days it's only like 2 liters or something like that, 2.5 liters. But I drink a lot of water. I am constantly filling up different water bottles. I have a Gatorade bottle with just water in it, and I fill this up probably upwards of 6 times a day sometimes. It just depends. But I always drink at least half a gallon of water or more. So my urine is well diluted and it does not really smell. The only time it smells is when I eat certain vegetables like asparagus or something like that that causes anybody's urine to smell really strong. Or if I drink coffee without drinking water, it's gonna smell bad. I had that issue yesterday, but thankfully at work I was not wet enough to really have it noticeable. Once I got home and I was wet again, it smelled bad. I immediately went and took a shower. The other thing was about throwing diapers away at work. We have a very large bathroom at work. So there's like 10 stalls in this bathroom. We have 2 huge covered trash cans. And so throwing away diapers is a very discreet thing there. If the bathroom's busy, I usually wait. I'll hang out in the stall till it calms down a few minutes, and then I will either put my diaper in a bag and throw it in the garbage, or I'll just wrap it up nice and tight and throw it in. It's a covered trash can. No smells really get out of that trash can. Our bathrooms are kept very clean, and the trash is taken out every night. So it's not like I'm throwing a wet, poopy diaper in the garbage can and leaving it. It gets taken out within a few hours of me throwing it away. But because I change my diaper first thing in the morning, I usually don't have to change my diaper till I get home from work. So it's honestly like once or twice a week that I'm actually putting a diaper in that garbage. So it's not very often. And I do it discreetly. No one cares, no one notices. And the question came up about like why I told my boss and coworkers. Well, first off, I didn't tell my boss. A few select people know, okay, not a few select, a lot of people at work know, mainly my friends that are women at work. My supervisors, my direct 2 supervisors know, or at least the one knows. I'm not sure if the other one knows, but either way, he doesn't care. I have told him I have to go home to change and stuff like that before, so he has an idea, he just doesn't bring it up. My other supervisor, she completely knows my issues. Due to the fact that I have a lot of medical issues, I kind of had to tell someone about some stuff because they need to know what's going on and what needs to happen if there's an emergency. So yeah, that's kind of how things go at work. My diapers are discreet. If someone sees them, it's not a big deal, but I don't purposely show it off. I do have some people that know, but that's because, you know, they've asked about my medical history, or not my medical history. They've asked questions because, like, I have a sewing business where I sew incontinence products, and they ask how I got into that, and I'm like, well, because I have incontinence issues, that's just kind of how it went. So that's how people have found out. And I am not going to hide my incontinence. I'm not going to blare it for the world to hear necessarily, even though I talk about it on YouTube, but I mean, in my daily life, I'm not going to be just randomly talking about my incontinence, but if I am asked about it, I will share and educate people. One of their big questions that this person asked was that I said a few months ago that my grandmother did not believe I had real issues. And this goes back to several things. As I was very ill and, you know, nearly dying, my grandmother had a lot of what's the word? She was kind of critical of me in aspects of, like, when I was in the hospital, I knew when I was due for pain medication and I asked for it. Things like that. So she was, you know, she was like, well, you shouldn't watch the clock and wait for that time frame to come. You know, you should just ask for it when you need it. Well, the point is I needed it before that. The IV medications just wear off quickly, and, you know, but I had to wait for that time. If I didn't need pain medication, I didn't ask for it. But it came down to that, like, you know, okay, so my grandmother would question, are some of my issues that have happened since then real issues? And my grandmother is from that generation that, you know, you don't go to doctors, you don't do stuff like this. But in my case, these issues were pretty definite. And what gave my grandmother that impression is it's just my grandmother. She questions everything. She criticizes a lot of things. So trust me, my mother set her straight on that very quickly. And this person wants to know if I actually need diapers or if this is just my way of satisfying my ABDL needs. This question kind of makes me annoyed. If they've really watched my channel from the beginning, you know this. I've told my story several times. I became incontinent following several surgeries. I have had 11 abdominal surgeries on my abdomen involving areas very close to my bladder and sometimes like at my bladder. So 11 surgeries in the abdominal cavity have damaged my nerves. I had no idea until I was well over 18 what ABDL was. The only thing I had ever seen in relation to that was a Beverly Hillbillies episode where one of the guys goes into the psychologist and the previous patient is walking out dressed up as a baby. That's literally the only exposure I ever had to being an ABDL. Once I researched what it was, which I happened upon while searching for incontinence support groups. Once I researched what that was, I noticed that I've had a lot of these tendencies. This is a lot of how I feel. As I became sicker, I noticed these coming up. So things like, I was a thumb sucker all my life. My parents literally tried everything to get me to stop sucking my thumb, and I didn't stop until I was about 16 years old. And then I got very ill, almost passed away, and I needed a comfort thing. So I ended up, not as a conscious thing, but I ended up starting to suck my thumb again. This was kind of when I was discovering the ABDL side of things, and I decided, seeing as I'm in the hospital all the time, my hands are covered in germs because I touch everything there, I need an option that I can keep clean. So I switched to an adult pacifier because, well, yes, I wanted a pacifier, but I also switched to it at that time, used it in the hospital for legitimate reasons because I needed that sucking action that I've been doing all my life to calm me down. And that was the only way to do it. There was a situation in the hospital where this was after my family kind of knew about what was going on with the ABDL stuff. There was a situation in the hospital where I was having a PTSD episode. I was flipping out. I was terrified. They tried medications. They tried things, they tried other things. They tried to calm me down in every way they could. I could not calm down. I was having flashbacks and nightmares that are terrifying, and I could not calm down. And this is the story that my mother has told me because I honestly don't remember much of it. I somehow indicated to my mom that I had my pacifier in my backpack stowed away in case I needed it. I indicated to her. And granted, my mother was not accepting of me being ABDL at this time. She was very against it. So I somehow indicated to her that I had my pacifier with me. She pulled it out and she said, I don't agree with this, but let's try it. She gave me my pacifier, and within 5 minutes, I was calmly back asleep. And that was when my mother cried and started to go on the road to accepting my ABDL side, because she saw that this was my coping mechanism. This was how I dealt with the crazy things that my body has gone through. And that's another story for another time as far as what I've gone through medically. So to address the question of do I actually need diapers? Yes. I have had every test possible pretty much to diagnose my incontinence, because we were trying to diagnose, if it was, what type of incontinence it was, what my body was actually doing, and why I was having these, accidents all the time. I've had them put a camera up my bladder. I've had them stick catheters in there with electrodes connected to everything to measure my muscles while they filled my bladder. And that whole time, the line that shows the muscle contractions was flat. There was zero activity. So yes, I need diapers. And no, I don't just want to satisfy my ABDL needs. Those two are completely separate. While the incontinence did facilitate me understanding my ABDL side, it was not the cause. And it is not a fake thing at all. So no, this is not to just satisfy my needs. Trust me, I wish I had the choice. I seriously wish I could say, hey, I don't want to wear a diaper today because it's too hot. I wish I could wear underwear to work instead of a diaper. They're loud, they're noisy, they're sweaty. I would much rather wear underwear and choose to wear a diaper when I wanted to be little. And the other comment was that this is supposedly this is an incontinence channel, but I don't mention other treatments. There's a reason for that. While I've researched other methods, I personally have not been able to try them for different reasons. I cannot catheterize because I have serious muscle issues in my abdomen. When a catheter is being put in, it causes severe muscle spasms and pain, to the point of I will lay there sobbing while there's a catheter in me. So we knew that catheterizing 4 times a day was not an option. We tried medication. Because I have no nerves, the nerves are dead. Medications don't work because they're used to stimulate those nerves and send them into overdrive so that your bladder knows it needs to go. That's not an option. We've tried timed voiding, where I literally set a timer, sit on the toilet every time it goes off until I pee. Because of the way my bladder works, it fills up before it goes. So I can sit there and try to go, I can sit there on the toilet and might go, might not go. And it became very stressful and very upsetting to me, because I would sit on that toilet for 20, 30 minutes and nothing would happen. So I did give up on that. I did it. I said, it's not the option for me. So we've tried the 2 main and a side one. The other option is surgery. Okay? So I cannot necessarily have surgery for my bladder because I have a condition, due to my genetic disease, I have a condition that causes tumors to grow when they do surgeries. I have 1 tumor, possibly a second right now. And any surgery that is done on my abdomen or in that area is going to run the risk of causing those tumors to kick into overdrive and grow very quickly, or causing that and another tumor to grow. So surgery is not an option. Seeing as I have nerve death and not just sluggish nerves, there's not really much they can do for me. Yes, there's the nerve stimulators and there's the bladder surgeries and all that, but that's not an option for me because of the condition I have. So that's why I don't talk about that one either. Because I have not tried everything, I'm not going to talk about what I haven't tried. I can suggest it, and I have suggested it. I've said before, if catheters are for you, that's fine. But for me and my experience, I'm sharing my experience here. So I'm not going to share with you what I don't know, what I have not tried. That's why I don't just go on here and do diaper review or talk about the diapers I haven't tried, because I haven't tried them. Therefore, I don't have the knowledge to share with you. This is my story. This is my journey. And I can't share stuff that I don't experience. That's not what I'm doing. I'm giving you the reviews and the tools that I have used. Said it's not for everybody. I have so many people who contact me saying, hey, I tried diapers, I didn't like them, I'm using a catheter. You know, and I have other people who come to me and say, hey, I had the same thing, I tried catheters, they didn't work, so now I'm doing diapers. Hey, what's the best diaper to use? You know, the reason I do these diaper reviews is because on a daily basis I get asked for diaper recommendations. And this is my way of being able to say, hey, this is what I recommend. Go watch this video. This gives you the points of why I like that diaper. And it's something I've experienced and can actually tell people my experience and how it worked for me. So that they can then go and say, hey, maybe that'll work for me as well. I'll give it a shot. Because what I'm doing already is not working. You know, that's why I've switched diapers over the years, is because, you know, I've tried things that other people suggested and they didn't work. So I am not going to share about catheterization, about things like that, because I don't try that. I can't try that. So I am not a qualified person to be sharing that information. And that's why this channel is all about, you know, the diaper option. There's so many other places you can go to find options for, you know, the different types of surgeries, catheterization, and the support for that. But this is what works for me. This is what I share. I am incontinent and I am ABDL. They don't have to be separate from each other. My channel is the way it is because I've seen so many ABDL channels that, you know, maybe the person is incontinent. I don't know that person very well, so I can't say that. But I don't want to be the typical AB out there. You know, I want to meld the two, show people that they can be melded. You have no idea how many people come to me being like, I kind of have these tendencies, but I'm scared. I am incontinent, but I don't want people to see me as an ABD or think that I'm faking because of the things that, you know, the ABDL things that I do. And that's the side that that's where I am qualified to share with people, because I am ABDL and I have incontinence issues. So I can meld those two in my life and share that experience with others. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not mad. Don't get me wrong. I am not mad. I'm just kind of being matter of fact and showing you people, because these questions have come up so many times and I haven't really had the chance to address them. But, so, no, I'm not ranting and not mad. I just wanted to point this stuff, or to talk about this stuff, because it is brought up and it is a legitimate question. You know, I understand that I'm kind of confusing with that, but that's because I want to show the world, both the incontinence community, the ABDL community, and the rest of the world, that just because you're ABDL doesn't mean you're creepy. Incontinent people don't have to be in this separate box from the rest of the diaper wearing community. We can meld and come together and share something and show support to each other. And that's what I want to do. I want to bring a helpful experience to the people who watch my videos. If you are ABDL and you're coming for that, that's great. I don't mind. If you're incontinent and you don't like the ABDL stuff, but you still like to hear the reviews I have. You know, I know friends who are incontinent and completely non-ABDL who wear printed diapers because it's a diaper that works really well. So that's why I bring those types of reviews to you, because let's face it, the majority of the good diapers in this country and in the world are ABDL diapers, because they focus on making this diaper work regardless of the price. Whereas in the medical field, it's all about pricing, not about how it works. I mean, the diapers that you get covered by insurance for the most part are the diapers that you wet it once and it's done, and then you have a rash if you don't change within a half hour. You know, that's not the experience that I want people in the community, in the incontinence community especially, to have. You know, if that's all you can afford, that's fine. I've been through that. I've been at the place where I literally could not afford anything but the diapers that were supplied to me through Medicaid, and they were horrible. I had rashes constantly. You know, it was miserable. And then I switched to a thicker medical diaper, and then I've progressed to, well, I'm going to try some printed diapers from these ABDL community companies, because they actually work better. And that's where I would love to encourage these ABDL companies, you know, to make these plain printed or plain non-printed diapers. Like ABU has done it, Crinkles does it. There's a couple of different ones. Bambino, you know. We still need those in the world, because hey, I just bought a case of plain white diapers because I needed something that wasn't printed, because I wanted to have a more professional appearance, or I want to have, you know, those available for medical situations where it's like I'm gonna have other people changing my diaper, but I don't want it to be completely printed and baby-like. I've never had them comment about that other than the fact that they're cute, but I want them to not be uncomfortable with the fact that they're changing my diaper. So that's why I got those diapers. And sorry, my cat is climbing up stuff very loudly. But anyway, guys, so like I said, I'm not mad. I'm just explaining things to you and setting some thoughts at ease for people. I welcome both ABDL and incontinent people to my channel. And that's, you know, the reason I do that. Like, I do ABDL reviews. I wear some stuff that looks like ABDL stuff. But I want the people who are incontinent but need the information to feel okay watching my channel, instead of having me dressed up as this decked out baby girl is showing my diaper off. I don't want that, you know, because I want to be able to allow those who are incontinent to feel comfortable watching my channel. And that's, you know, that's why I do this. I do this to help people out, and I do this to share my experience. I should do this to share my life with you guys. If, you know, if I wasn't open to criticism and questions, I wouldn't do this. But I do thank you for the questions that you do send me. I try to look at all my comments and to answer. I don't always get to do that because I'm not feeling very well these days. I'm having some pretty severe health issues. But I wanted to be able to do this video for you guys today, even though I'm sick. And I've rambled on for 23 minutes so far, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. If you have any more questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. I am still going to do a Q&A video at some point. I have only had a couple of questions, and probably should have saved all this information for my Q&A, but I thought it would do well on a separate video of its own. So, links are in the description box below to my Twitter and I believe my Instagram. So you can always ask me the questions there. I'm not as active on there. I don't look at it as often as I look at my YouTube comments. But by all means, send me a private message to my inbox, anything like that, and I will, you know, be sure to put those aside for the Q&A video. Hopefully we'll get to that in the next couple of weeks. We'll see. I'm considering doing it live, but we'll see how that goes. I do have other people in my house, and I can't always control the what's going on here. But you guys, thank you so much for your support for this channel. I love that you guys have these questions and that you're willing to bring these issues up. And you know, thank you so much for sticking with me. If you stuck all the way to the end of this, thank you so much. I know it's long. I don't usually do them this long. But I am going to let you guys go, and I will see you next Thursday. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.